today we're gonna keep talking about the Disney princesses.
Yeah.
And what are we gonna talk about?
No, we stopped talking about. We stopped when we were talking about Cinderella. It's like Cinderella, like she was like, I think like she was one Disney princess that was the most based off of Walt Disney himself.
And so yeah.
I mean, and so like because like she was like, and she was very hardworking because like she did all the work for the Seven Northern Stepsisters, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and she was hardworking, definitely. Probably one of the most hardworking ones besides Tiana.
Yeah, Tiana.
Because Tiana was also very hardworking.
It never said that Cinderella liked working, so like she probably didn't.
But I mean, Tiana was actually, she liked working, you know? So that was the difference, I guess, between them.
But I think like the thing that's like similar with all the Disney princesses is that like they when they like they have a problem and like they don't know what to do about it, like they sing to like make themselves feel better about it.
Yeah, and like when they have a problem, like cause you know that movie that showed, it had all the Disney princesses.
Oh yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph, was it Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah.
And it had all the Disney princesses, and then it talked about like the Disney princesses it was talked about like singing to solve the problem or something.
Or like to like they're singing about their
Yeah, it was singing about their dream. It was singing about their dream. And so it's kind of the same thing, I guess, but not really.
Well, like singing about your dream can't magically make you. It's just like a symbolic.
Yeah, because they sing about their dreams, and I guess like the things that they just wish that they had, and you know, I guess sometimes it could be their problem, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess it could be, but not really. I don't know.
And, like the thing is, it like over all those years, like when you really think about what happened to her, it's terrible. Like her dad and mom died, and like she was only left with her stepmother. No matter how kind, how nice she was to them, they still hated her even more because of them.
Yeah, and that's terrible. Like because like kindness is supposed to be like you do it, and it's supposed to get like not that you always have to get kindness in return, but that like kindness is supposed to be something like you do it, and then like eventually like it returns to you.
Yeah.
You know, in a way. But like Cinderella, it wasn't like that because they were meaner to her when she was nice.
Yeah, but like if she was mean to them, like that would make it worse because like,
yeah, that would make it worse too. So it's like there's nothing she could have really done.
Yeah, and like people like they joke about the princesses and like I think that like that. I mean, they have a good point when they tell jokes about like that, like that. But the thing is, I think that those things just make princesses who they are. Really, that's the important things. It's things that most people think of as like plot holes or inconvenient things, like are actually just make the movie better. Like you just don't realize it. Yeah. It's like Cinderella, like I think that like, well, I'm just gonna say overall that like, and like the thing is, it took a lot of bad stuff to happen to her for her to finally like cry because of one.
Yeah, and like I think that that's the thing. Like sometimes, like you know, like they talk about like I think I've heard somewhere before. They say you know like you cry when like a buildup of a lot of bad things have happened to you. And then over time of all the bad things that happen to you, you cry because of maybe you cry one time because of one thing. But you're not really crying just because of that.
Yeah.
You're crying because of all this stuff.
Yeah, it's like it just brings it out.
Yeah.
And like she never expected that much. She never expected to be a princess, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like she had dreams, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think she had that dream of actually being a princess. Like.
Yeah, I don't think she had that dream. Yeah, so we're talking about Aurora. Like she was kind of more realistic than Cinderella in some way because like she didn't always want to just go with everything.
Yeah.
Like because like she.
And I think she was a little bit. More
like she went
realistic.
with everything, but like the thing is she didn't want to. Like and that's the same with all 16-year-old Disney princesses because I guess that's the age when you're.
Yeah, like because it's the age when you're like you know kind of like the opposite and you want to do. Yeah. You don't want to do what the parents tell you and stuff.
Yeah, and like so it's like Aurora, like she wanted like. The thing is, like, she never wanted to be a princess either, really, but she got it anyway. And, like, the thing is that, like, I don't know if many of you know what happens in Sleeping Beauty, but, like she was betrothed to Prince Philip since she was born, but then she was raised by the fairies because of the curse. So, because they didn't want her to prick her finger, so they hid her from Maleficent with the fairies. They pretended to be peasants. And so she never knew she was a princess. And then one day she met Prince Philip, but she didn't know who he was. And then after they told her that she was the Princess Aurora and she had to marry Prince Philip, but she didn't know that he was Prince Philip.
Yeah.
And so like the thing is like, but I think the meaning of it is that like even if you can't see how things always work out, and like they make more sense than you think they do.
Yeah.
Sometimes
and
like I mean like.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know what I was gonna say.
It kind of reminds me of
That's bad.
Shakespeare, but the opposite. Like it's like Romeo and Juliet. Like Shakespeare, but the opposite. Because like Romeo and Juliet, people wanted them to be didn't want them to be together, but they wanted to be together. And this one's kind of like that,
Oh,
but then
yeah.
it's different.
But it's not. It's not really like that because it's like they
They still
what?
want to be together, but they don't know.
that they want them to be together.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a reverse. I think like Disney might have done that on purpose. Like they might have like made it like a happy version of Shakespeare.
Yeah, like a happy version of it. Like, because I always thought that it was kind of like, I don't know, I just thought ever since I learned about when Tito told me that, like, ever since you told me that they were, like, betrothed, but they were, but, they didn't know that. Like, ever since then, I always thought that it was kind of weird, and I thought that, like, there must be some reason for it. Like, because I thought it was weird that, like, they didn't know that they were betrothed, but they were, and that they wanted to be together, even though they didn't know that their parents actually wanted them to be together.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, like, I just thought it was kind of weird. And I thought that, like, I don't know, like, I think it's a good idea, but then something about it, like, tells me that it's not.
Well, I think I know
But
what it is
I
that
don't
you're
know-
thinking.
I don't know
Like the thing
what
is,
it-
sad stories usually have a really good meaning, or they wouldn't be sad.
Yeah.
Like they have a good moral, and like the thing is that like they never. I don't think they should ever just be sad. They always should have a reason to be sad.
Yeah.
The thing is, like Shakespeare, like there was one point that was missing from the movie, like Shakespeare when they died, that their family were sorry that they didn't want them to be together. But in this one,
Yeah.
like they never really learned that they didn't have to be together just because they were betrothed.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's that they needed to learn that it didn't have to be that way. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like they didn't have to marry just because they were betrothed. So, like, I just think that, like, they should have learned that in the story. You know?
But yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe I don't know, maybe they didn't need to. I mean, maybe it just wasn't a lesson that they were teaching.
Well, like the difference between Aurora and Snow White was that Snow White was more childlike, while Aurora is. But that's probably because she's older.
Yeah, it could be because of that. Because, like, she did act a lot older. I think Aurora acted a lot older. And, like, I think, like, you know, I'm just saying this, but, like, I think all the, like, the princesses, like, you when you find out how old they are, you find out that they're actually really young. And, like, it's just surprising. You know, because, like, you think of them as adults,
Yeah.
kind of, because they seem like adults. But they're not.
Yeah.
Well, most of them are. Some of them are technically adults, but anyway.
But like Aurora, like the difference between Aurora, like Aurora was like I'm talking about the movie now, but like it was different because from Sonic, because like Sonic was more like of a childlike thing. It was more like something for everyone to watch.
Sleeping Beauty.
Snow White.
Snow White.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we're talking about.
Well,
Snow
actually,
White
I don't know. I mean, that's not really true, but I understand why people didn't like Sleeping Beauty as much because it was more complicated. Like it had
Yeah.
more like.
It
plot
was,
things
and
that
I think
Legend
like
was
you
saying.
like when you first think about it, it seems like such a general idea,
I know.
but it's really not.
Yeah, but the thing is, I actually find it a lot more modern than the other ones in that time. And like, and the thing is that like Aurora isn't technically the main character. Like, it's like the fairies are more important than her. Like, they're the ones that
Yeah.
are always doing
Yeah,
everything.
I noticed
She
that.
has less. Like, there's so many things about her. Like, she has less spoken lines than sung lines.
She doesn't say as much, so that's another thing that makes her seem like she's not as good.
There was there was this one cartoon. I don't know what it's called, but like there was this one storybook that was like. It was like a sequel to the original movie, but like I think that could actually be a really good sequel, like a real sequel, a movie sequel.
Oh.
Because like it showed a lot about Aurora, but like I won't tell you what happens in it. I'm just gonna tell you. And and now we're talking about Ariel. And so let's talk about Ariel. Like Ariel was like she was like energetic and like optimistic, and like she sometimes like was too optimistic. Like,
Yeah, like she was really optimistic, and Ariel was just like, I think she kind of like you know the lesson that they learn is that she sees that the grass is always greener on the other side. You
Yeah.
know, she sees that she thinks things are always better in another way, but really she has to learn that they're actually not. You
Yeah.
know? And she has to be appreciative of what she has.
yeah, but that's more of the story in the original Little Mermaid. But like this one,
Well, yeah, I know, because like this one, like she does marry the prince.
but I think like they had another moral. In it. I know what the other moral. Like the moral was it like the difference between like how parents and kids don't get along all the time, but in the
Oh,
end
yeah.
that they that they
Wait, and what?
Little
Moral?
Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid,
The
but
parents
what?
and kids don't.
Which
you know,
one? The
this-
movie?
The movie. Yeah, that they don't always get along very well. Like the movie had a different moral.
Yeah, I think it did. I thought it did because it seemed like it did, but I wasn't sure because I still thought like it seems like such an important lesson that they should still keep it in there. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think that's the same moral, but I think they had this moral too.
Yeah.
I think it had both in each other, right? Like I mean, like that's a good moral too, right?
Yeah.
Actually, they had that in a lot of Disney movies, like in the Renaissance.
Yeah, and yeah, I think that is like a good moral, like that they, because like the kind of like the rivalry with parents and kids,
Yeah.
and like that's like such a big thing, like, especially with kids, the kids are watching, and it just seems like a thing that you would put in there.
Yeah, and but Ariel, another thing about her was that she was really stubborn, and like
Yeah,
she
she
was like,
was.
and like rebellious. Like, but it wasn't like she wanted to be rebellious. Like, no teenager wants to be rebellious. They just want something that other people
Yeah,
don't have.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like
I mean,
if
there are some people that are just want to be rebellious.
Well, that depends on the teenager.
Well, yeah.
Like, I mean, most teenagers would probably say they don't want to be rebellious.
Yeah, most of them say they don't want to because obviously probably none of them even maybe some of them, but most of them don't say
Yeah.
it because they don't want to admit it, and probably most of them don't, but there are some that do.
Yeah, but like Ariel, she was like, I don't know how to explain her, but like she was like she didn't know very much about like the world, and like that's why the reason why she made the deal with Ursula. But like in the
Yeah.
end, like it worked out anyway, which I guess is another meaning of the story. Like even when you do things that are wrong, you can still have a happy ending.
Yeah, that's a good moral, I think. Yeah, I
And
like that moral.
Yeah, and then like a lot of and like movies another thing with the movies is that like after Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, and Cinderella, like they all had like their own morals, like they had their own unique morals.
Yeah.
Like the original one, like in Snow White, Cinderella, and Sleeping Beauty, like they all had the same moral of be kind and optimistic and hardworking, and always do what's right and like that,
Yeah.
and believe in true love. So that's like generally what it was. Like that's like and like that's just a general moral, but like then like there can be so many other morals like that are less specific.
Yeah.
And that can apply to different kinds of people and not other kinds of people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like there's more like diversity in the movies, I guess.
Yeah, I think that is.
Like and so like basically all the princesses are the same after that.
Yeah, so like all
some are more-
the main the classic ones that we talked about, we just I don't know, what one's your favorite of the classic ones?
I don't know.
Mine is probably Ariel or probably Ariel.
I don't know which one's mine. Oh, Belle, actually, Belle.
Belle. Oh, we didn't talk about Belle.
Oh yeah, like Belle, like that was like, and technically, I know it's on purpose. That, like people started making movies like that in
Yeah.
the Renaissance age, because like the Renaissance of Disney, I mean, because like they want there was like starting to be like women's protest things, like they didn't.
Yeah, and there was like that stuff going on. Was it like around that time?
Yeah, it was. Like they
Yeah,
started to
that was
like they wanted to like do things about women's rights, and so then like
Yeah.
of course that showed in the movies. Like what's going on in real life is always showing in the movies.
Yeah, I think what I was gonna say is my favorite Disney princess is Ariel, and probably my second favorite one is Belle. Is
Yeah.
Belle your favorite one?
Yeah, Belle's my favorite because like not only just because she's smart and brave and everything, but also because she's like funny
Yeah.
and like sassy.
Yeah, she is.
Like she was.
And like she's just really clever and
Yeah, I know,
You
and like
know.
she's just like me in some ways. 'Cause I like people
Yeah,
like
she
that.
is.
Like, think what Ariel's is like. I used to think that she was one of the sassy Disney princesses, but when I look back, I realized that she never really was sassy.
you guys for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching, and you're awesome,
And you're rocking.
and you rock, and you're loved.
Oh wait, and also another thing, if there's anything that we like forgot about the Disney princesses, you can tell us.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. Thank you for watching. Bye.